Hey, Dad, it's me. Yeah, I just want to call you completely random out of the blue and want to tell you that I love you. Why? Look, I just finished this game called God of War, and I just want to call you and just tell you I love you. What was the game like? Well, let's get into that.
Welcome to the Lights, Camera, Rant Podcast. Your source for the latest on movies, TV shows, and video games. Get ready for ranting, raving, and reviewing. Here is your host, Lee.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Lights, Camera, Rant Video Game Reviews, which this particular episode, we are looking at God of War Ragnarok. And before you say anything, yes, I know, it's been a while. The game's been out a few months. Look, unfortunately, between moving house, Christmas and New Year's, I just didn't have enough time to sit down and really knuckle into this massive game that it is. But hey, without further delay, we are right here. So please like, share, subscribe, all the fun stuff that you already know. And spoilers. Spoilers left, right, and center. You know the drill. The game's been out for a few months. So if you get spoiled right now, I take no responsibility. That is all on you. So if you're a brand new listener or a brand new viewer of our video game reviews, what we do is we look at the story, we look at the graphics, and then we look at the gameplay, and then we round out right at the end, the positives, the negatives, and why you should pick up this game or snap it and throw it in the trash and never touch it again. No joke. Like, I can tell you right now, go back and listen to the Saints Row review I did. That game is just hot garbage. And since I've done that review, I have not gone back to that game once. So that tells you a little snippet of that review. Please go check it out if you like it. Anyway, so God of War Ragnarok is the 5th entry in the God of War series. Now, this game picks up exactly right after where the other God of War finished up, and it is a little bit heartbreaking at the very start. However, you also have Thor and Odin right off the bat. So this game doesn't... You have probably about 5 minutes of like soft easing back into it, and then smack bang, the story kicks off. Now, one of the very first characters you are introduced is Thor. Now, he is so far removed from Thor in the MCU that don't even compare the two at all. Both either size, Mjolnir, weight, definitely nothing in between. But I can guarantee you, as the story progresses, you will feel closer to Thor and you're going to love his arc in this game. I found myself feeling really bad for him, wanting to help him, and a lot of the time you will say in this game, screw Odin. People say a lot worse, like F you, Odin. That will grow onto you as well, that you will find that, and you'll find that as a big connection to Thor as this game progresses. Now, the story is... and obviously you introduce Odin, who is also just a giant-ass dick. And he's a dick throughout the entire game, and it just keeps escalating as it progresses. But for me personally, I found the story so intriguing, so not a cliffhanger, but like you want to keep moving forward. You want to keep going through to find what happens next. And as the story progresses, there's twists, there's turns, there's allies who go from allies to enemies, back to allies, and there's some betrayals, and there's some loss, all through this. This is an intense story from start to finish. And the game really makes you feel every point, both the brutality of God of War, naturally, of Kratos, his past, his future, for Atreus / Loki, what is the future for Asgard, Ragnarok is coming. So for anyone who doesn't know what Ragnarok is, essentially it is the apocalypse in North mythology. Ugh, nearly got there. Essentially, that's what Ragnarok is. Well, if there is in the MCU Thor Ragnarok, same type of deal. but so different. Namesakes are there, but so different. But then I found this story just, I wanted to keep going, not because I had to do this review or just to feel it fit in. This game hooks you in that first 10 minutes, that first meeting with Thor and Odin, and you're off running. And it's just, I found myself so sucked in. And then from there, you start world jumping, going to different realms, similar to the very first game, but this is just a little bit bigger. And the culmination at the end battle at Asgard is intense as anything. It's just raw. All the fights. The first fight with Thor is like, again, that happens straight after you do meet him as well. You get a first crack at Thor, and even that is just gut punching straight to the mouth. And the cinematic is fantastic. So this story completely draws you in, and you feel for these characters. If you were just playing God of War Ragnarok for the very first time, this game is going to make you want to go back and play God of War from 2015, I think pretty much came out, and even further beyond, which I do hope that one day they do make a God of War remastered trilogy for PlayStation 5 so you can go back. Probably a little couple of things they probably have to edit out. However, it'd be really fantastic, and if you could go through the whole story on PlayStation 5 from 1 to 5. Now, the story is the strongest point in this game, I found. It pulls, and not only does it pull you in, but as I said, you feel it. And I'd love to know what everyone thought about the ending. Like, the ending is just, the ending is the reason why this video starts with me. I actually did text my old man saying I love you at the end of the story, and he's like, well, it was like, oh, I love you too. What's up? I'm like, nothing, just want to tell you. And that's what this story does. So this took me about 32 hours to get through. So it is a game that you will have to sit down and put the time in. You can't quickly go through it. And all the other characters you do meet, Faye, and they're back. Sindri, Brock, they're all back. And you're also another character you will also be saying F you to is Heimdall. Second biggest dick from Odin. It's terrible because when I was playing it, I was looking, and as soon as you meet Heimdall for the first time, I was like, he looked nothing like the guy from Marvel. I was like, and then even like not even like when I've seen other movies with Heimdall, I was like, nah. But again, he is a dick, and again, they really make sure that you hate these characters very strongly as it progresses. Now, the graphics-wise, this game, the graphics is beautiful. Every world is beautiful that you go into. From the smallest thing, from going to a plant, to the snow falling, to the animals that you fight, it is stunning. There is so much TLC into this game. Just the smallest things. As I said, just watching snowfall, looking something in the distance, seeing the different types of creatures that pop up. It is all fantastic. I found myself multiple times just panning around the scenery, just taking it all in if I was going out myself. Whether it was atop of a cliff or going through some snow. It was just fantastic, and they really captured this world and just the finer details, and the graphics are beautiful. And I can't stress that enough, is that you can tell all the amount of time and TLC they have put into this. So, and I got no glitches. I can tell you right now, through this entire game, not a single motherfucking glitch. MF glitch, not one, which was great for a change, especially after Saints Row. So, moving on to gameplay. So, a lot of it, obviously, very similar to the God of War previously, both the different weapons. You do get the sword, sword, axe, the blades, which the blades are used the most, and you do get a spear about halfway through the game. So they give you, gameplay, it's very adaptive, so you can adjust to how you want to fight, whether you want to use one of your 3 weapons or you just want to use your fists. Because I found myself just for time, just for a simple villain, I would just use my fist just to weigh the action. And then when you use rage mode and you just tear everything up, or you just rip the mouth off a creature's just brutal as. You get this beautiful story, and then bang, let's rip this creature up and get it like a fish with the blades of chaos. Chef's kiss. Honestly, it's fantastic. So the fighting style is really good for Kratos, and obviously, not to the same full extent you do get with Atreus. You do get different abilities, but obviously it's very, very different. And obviously very customization on both the different armor, even the different handle, all across the board. So you can freely be those customized people. You will love this. They give you plenty of options, and definitely a couple of talismans or pendants that you can purchase that give you little boosts here and there. And they do a fantastic job of explaining how each one works with a little video, which I love, because sometimes you get things you're like, how does it work? And it doesn't really explain it very well. So God of War, again, does that extremely well. And the fighting styles, I did like how when you do verse every single boss, it is slightly different each time. So you can't just go copy and paste. You have to be adaptive in the game. And when you go through the game, even if it doesn't matter if you're going into one of the 9 realms, some of the creatures that pop up to attack you or people who attack you is slightly different each time. So again, you have to be adaptive as a fighter when you go into this game. However, one of the negatives I did find is that some of the times you do get villains that are exactly the same, and it was very repeat finding. You go from like one section over here to one section just a boulder over, just a boulder over, and it's still the same fighting style, and it's just really a struggle. And I played this game on normal, so for anyone who played this on Legendary or God of War mode, god damn, I preached to you. I don't know how you did it, but yeah, I couldn't have gone that far. But I did find myself as I was progressing through the game, it was just a little bit repetitive at points, but that is like a smidge to the entire thing. Overall, as you can see, if you are watching the gameplay, as you go through this video, it's just head-on collision when you are in the fighting mode. And so that's the gameplay. And look, the overall, I could honestly say I've not been moved by a game like this since Red Dead Redemption. Not did I get to the end, I was like, oh my god, like that's happening. I haven't felt anything like that since I played Red Dead Redemption, and of a game on that scale. And everyone told me, obviously, play God of War, and I was like, yeah, I will. I had to keep going, and this game just, it's for, if you like a fantastic story, if you like high action, and if you like relationship building, this is for you. 100%. I couldn't recommend, just the story alone. Story alone is such a high point that you need to check out. But if you just want that pure rage that you got in the first 3 games, you're taken care of. You are taken care of. So it's an outstanding story with a brutality over it when you're fighting. So you feel every punch, every blade going into somebody, or an axe going into somebody, or a spear going into somebody, or just your raw fist. You feel every single time with a close-up camera. At the same time, you're just sitting back going, "Oh my god, what's gonna happen next?" Or I'm going to slice you up. Just that type of emotions. So this overall this game you need to check out. Not just because it's a AAA title, not just because you get to be this Kratos or Atreus, just for the fact this is a game that won't come around very often. It has all the elements, everything you want in one place, and it is video game storytelling at the premier level. I'm so glad they took their time with this, and I hope they don't make a sequel. The ending wrapped it up, and both Atreus and Kratos got a good ending. I thought Kratos was going to die at the end, which, you feel for him because he thinks he's going to die because he's getting older. But he doesn't die, but you do feel that, and he gets a very justified ending because you feel everything he's felt for the past 4 games, everything he's gone through, and how much he does not want war anymore. He wanted to give it all up, and this is what he'll be going into. And again, when you finish the story, you still have so much to go into. There is a lot to do in this game. There's a lot of side quest options to keep going, but it's such a fitting ending to the entire story that a 6th game is not needed, and I hope we don't get it. So guys, that is my review for God of War Ragnarok. But tell me, what do you think? Did you really like this? Did you like the gameplay? Did you like the story? Do you want to see a 6th game? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, happy ranting.
Thanks for listening to Lights, Camera, Rant. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. While you're at it, leave us a rating and review, and be sure to tell your friends. Until next time, happy ranting.